Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss a video from us.
Hello and welcome to the Expert Interview Series, and today we are thrilled to have with us Mr. Aditya Pal Singh, a distinguished talent acquisition leader with an impressive career spanning over 23 years. Aditya brings wealth of experience in navigating the intricacies of multicultural and matrix environments, specializing in every aspect of talent acquisition. Throughout his journey, Aditya has played a pivotal role in leading talent acquisition initiatives across renowned organizations including KPMG, Informatica, and Accenture. With a proven track record of success, he has spearheaded innovative strategies, workforce planning, and recruitment processes to meet organizational goals effectively. Welcome, Aditya, to the Expert Interview Series, and hope our viewers get to learn from your experiences.
Looking forward towards it, Pooja. Thank you very much for having me. You don't specialize, actually. I think so by all of us, all of our careers, and I'm sure yours also, after some time you navigate into something which you like doing. Luckily, I started working in recruiting and I liked the space where I was. So I'll put it the right way. I got into it by luck or by opportunity. I like the space. The good thing about talent acquisition is outcome is very tangible. So you know what needs to get delivered. You impact the bottom line of the organization, as simple as that. And in talent acquisitions, there's never a dull day. Every second day, even if the positions are high, your life is very interesting. Even if the positions are low, your life is very interesting. So it's one of the spaces. It's the fun functions within HR, I feel, which is always moving at a much faster pace. And adoption of technology is the most, if you look at in HR, in talent acquisition. So a good space, and I'm happy to be in this space.
Right. So just a quick question that people who qualify in their MBAs and specialize in HR, how do they choose their path into talent acquisition? I mean, what's the hierarchy like?
Yeah, so people who get who do their masters, and then see, it's a subject of what you get placed for the role, right? Companies will come and interview. Obviously, if you look at the large scale scheme of things, there are more positions in recruiting as compared to a journalistic HR, right? So it really depends on the scale of organization. Then my recommendations to anybody who wants to start a career in human resources broadly should pick up whatever is coming their way and have a good experience in all the fields of HR, right? Your HR is also TA, it's also learning and development, it is also business partnering, it is also performance management, compensation benefits. So it's huge. And if you're starting your career, as you said, you as an individual, you should try and get exposure to all of it and see then what you like doing, right? It could be, you might like learning and development better than compensation benefits. So really see what fits into your DNA much better as compared to other people, and go with the flow. And but experiment in the initial part so that you get a flavor of what you want to do. When I started my career, we just moved into the internet era, so 2000s, and I still remember working when you had those box files. I don't know if you've seen those, right? Now you will find it only in an accounting firm, right? Those box files to internet. So it's seen a big change. I think the most important change is speed and cost metric, which has come up as a huge flavor for talent acquisition. How faster are you able to get in the folks, and how faster are you able to move the process? And cost to serve, how cheaper it is for you to get a cost per hire as compared to another organization. Then the other part is analytics. What is the time to hire, which is the best places we normally hire. So the pre-data to current data plays a very important part to build an inference for you to make a futuristic decision from a futuristic standpoint of saying, from an organization perspective, this is the best way forward, right? It helps you plan. Workforce planning plays an important part, right? The other one is now there is more emphasis on optimization and engagement with candidates, and how do you engage, your meetups, your webinars, roundtables, podcast, video cast, what we're doing, all of this plays an important part from an engagement standpoint, from a candidate perspective. Um, Engagement, employee well-being. I'm sure post-corona, I think so. All of us, irrespective of the function which we lead, I feel well-being plays the top part of any leaders. KRAs, not even KRAs, as an individual plays a huge part from an organization perspective. Technology plays a huge part in to moving from recruiter sourcing to now in a phase of where you can get a lot of things might be get delivered by NLP and few other tools which will help you depending on the organization, the need of the organization. And employer branding, and second last is skill-based hiring from a hiring perspective. And the last one I feel will be more futuristic, not futuristic, but somewhere down the line, organization will spend more time on internal mobility, moving people internally vis-a-vis go to market to hire people at least at mid levels. How do you grow? How do you move people in? That will play a huge part when it comes to talent acquisition, Pooja. Yeah, so there are a lot of things. One is to analyze your current set of goals and objectives for you to see what can be delivered from an organization perspective, right? What are the goals? What the kind of talent pool are required? Then you identify the competencies required to fulfill these goals, right? Do you have the current competencies? Do you need to get it from market, develop, or move forward in from a hiring perspective? Understanding the EVP, employee value proposition, which you bring to the table of saying that my strengths are this, and this is my go-to market. This is the kind of people I would require from an organization. This is what I stand, and portraying it via branding, webinars and all of this, of saying this is what we stand for. If you feel that you fit into this kind of organization, please go ahead and apply, right? And customizing your TA strategy according to the organization. It's very different because I worked in a product and a services organization. Their strategy of talent is very different, right? Large scale organization will look at scale, number. They have the ability to hire people against bench, where a product company does not have the ability. It needs more deep funneled, exact, candidate in. They have no pipeline and everything else. So organizations are very different, and at least in tech, the easier way out, a lot of organization is, there's a word called polyglot. They're trying to look at, candidates who can do everything, as simple as that. In a very technology term is full stack, who does everything, right? So perspective, that's what organizations trying to look at. So building a EVP, building a compelling page, your success story, social media, all of this plays a huge part when you build a organization strategy to look at current and future. Okay. That's what organizations will look at.
When you get a series of inputs or resumes that you get, what's the strategy of filtering out the best proposition?
It depends on if you're getting a lot of CVs. As I said, if it's a large scale organization, a lot of them have NLP tools which is running, and I'm sure there are a lot of articles which are going right now saying that, hey, your CV is not getting shortlisted. Okay. Maybe because you don't have the right words in your profile, but people will doctor the CVs accordingly. But for filtration, it's very important that you see fitment to the job description. But then the problem with a lot of time is people, they don't know how to make their CVs, Pooja. So, you might have done all the work, and as an individual, as Pooja she would just put in 3-4 key things and leave it, right? That's not the way. Spend time. There are websites which will help you develop your profile. Explain what you do, as simple as that, on a profile, and then, move further, because, when the CV gets shortlisted, they're trying to look at, your CV is the first reference point, right? And it has to be precise, correct, of exactly saying what are you doing, what have you done, and what do you want to achieve from a futuristic standpoint. So that plays an important part, and the concise CV plays a more important part, right? A lot of people put 50 projects and, your CV will be 7 pages, doesn't help. To precise, concise of saying this is what I worked on, this is the tech, this is the skill, these are the projects, this is the team size I've managed. And try and look at some reflective CVs on LinkedIn and few other places of saying what's another peer of mine put in, and put your CV accordingly so that you have the right fit from a role standpoint.
Thank you so much. It's very well explained. I think it's going to help a lot of people who are watching this because, as you said, that NLP is also a way of filtering out the CV. So if you're not
Yeah.
making the CV correct, you're missing on the opportunity.
Correct. And that's why people don't realize they get a trigger mail of saying that, hey, I'm sure a lot of us have got this, of saying that thanks for applying, but as of now, you don't fit in. So sometimes it's also a very doctored information because let's be honest, organization for one role would have about 500, 400 people applying. So it's difficult, right? Please also understand from an organization perspective, not only candidate perspective. So. There are a lot of misconceptions. One is, I really like the fact when business leaders come around and say, hey, we can go ahead and do talent acquisition, and they try their hand and they burn their hands and they go back doing delivery work. So one misconception is everybody can do talent acquisition. I'm being very honest, it's the most thankless job and not everybody can do it. It requires a particular skill for you to do this role. The other one is salary negotiation. A lot of candidates think that the recruiter is saving cost of the organization. No, the recruiter, it's not the recruiter who takes the call. They're trying to look at from an organization band perspective, where do you fit in, what's the best from an organization perspective, right? If you're good high performer, the organization will be ready to pay you more. Think that recruiter don't have a understanding of the role. They have a very high understanding of the role because they're the first round of filtration for any role. So they have a good understanding, and nowadays they know for a fact that quality CV plays an important part, right? There are a lot of conception of not getting feedback, which I agree. As I said, there's scale. So that is where new tech is coming into place, where you at least you get automated responses back. Candidates don't care, they do care, because at the end of the day, their role is to fulfill a position. And if you're the right field, they will go all out to fulfill your position, right? What else? Yeah, people think job ads fulfill positions. No, they don't. A job ad is just a way of saying that we are hiring. You normally don't get so many good fits from a job ad perspective. So, and there is more to talent acquisition. It's only not, fulfilling positions. It's also working with business, workforce planning, business strategy, branding, post-offer connects. There are a lot of other things to talent acquisition, just not only fulfilling positions. You impact the bottom line of the organization, as simple as that. And a wrong hire, long-term, will have more impact. And, that talks about quality of hire, which is also a big thing in organizations now. So, these are some of the misconceptions. People may agree or not, may disagree, but it's very different when you're on the other side, right? So. See, Pooja, if you look at hard skills, irrespective of whatever you do, the shelf life, at least in tech, is only 2 to 3, 5 years maximum. You pick up today Java, and tomorrow it will be something else, and then it will be DevOps, and then it will be something else, right? And we will all pick up all of this very easily. I think the softer skills plays an important part, Pooja, from a career standpoint. Your ability to adapt to change at a faster rate, and Corona has put us in that phase, right? We are more agile. So more agile are you as an individual plays an important part. So adaptability, your emotional intelligence, your ability to empathize, your resilience, your ability to deliver, irrespective, because we are living in a world where your team will be physical. You will have team member working from home. You will have team member working in some other country. You might be also working with an AI bot. So your ability to get things delivered, where all of this plays an important part. Critical thinking, looking at impact from short-term to long-term, plays an important part. Creativity, how different are you from an approach standpoint, right? Your ability to collaborate, and cognitive flexibility. I place cognitive flexibility far higher up, because we live in a world where I'm sure once you finish this, you'll end up doing something else after this, right? But then at one time, you might at this time get another call and you will text and do something else. So the ability to switch off and on and moving into doing multiple things at one time will play a huge skill. Your ability to have that dexterity to do multiple things will play a huge part as an individual. If you say that, I just open up to one particular thing, I will only do this is not going to help long term. It's my so these are some softer skills I feel that will play an important part, Pooja. So supposing if I'm going to hire for my own team, right? Long couple of years back, I remember I put a test online of saying that I gave a very blank a few things, and it's been a while, and I put it up of saying that if you can solve this, send in your CV. So the thing is, now we never live in a world where you need to get attention of your recruiter or from an organization perspective. So one, what is so different what you bring to the table, how creative you are, what is your ability to do the work right now and from a futuristic standpoint. And the most important part, Pooja, is the culture fit. Will this individual fit into my organization or will it fit into your organization, right? Because skill is something you can teach, right? But then if somebody's DNA is very different than yours, long term it'll that person will never be very happy, or it'll be he or she will be like a passenger in a train. So your ability to assess, see, fit, and someone who I always feel hire people under you who are much smarter than you, so that you get time to do more things as compared to them, and always try and look at not 100% fit, because if you get someone 100% fit, they'll get bored. So get in someone who has 60-70% fit, so they have the ability to learn things and you get the ability to do more. So look at all of this and take a risk. The higher risk, sometimes the rewards are far more higher. So see who fits in, he or she fits into the organization, Pooja.
So it's all about the DNA match. It should match to the company's organization as well as helping you ease out the work.
Correct. And someone who could, in due course of time, run things independently. That's my yardstick. Resilience is, I feel, is right on top. It is a thankless job, so don't look around for, acclamations or rewards immediately. We live in a world where we are looking for rewards. So resilience, your ability to work with stakeholders and understand business will play a huge part for anybody who wants to get into talent acquisition. Understanding the talent landscape, of understanding where the talent lies and what is so different which we bring to the table will play an important part. Your ability to plan and deliver, because if we don't fulfill a particular position at a period of time, there is a negative or a positive impact. But how do you anticipate things beforehand, before it even happens, right? That's the right way of anticipating things. So some of it, and someone who likes the space for them, who have to have things come up very differently the next day. So there are people who are very clear that this is what I want to do. I want this set, but this is for people who know for a fact that you closed something, you get a very good job done on a Monday evening. Tuesday evening you have an escalation sitting, and Tuesday morning you have an escalation sitting. You be ready to adapt and move on it, right? So someone who is ready to do this will be a right fit from an organization perspective, and who cares about candidates, the organization, market, everything else. These are big parameters for any TA professional. I always think the motivation behind it is you keep learning as an individual, Pooja. And so how do you one up yourself? Your competition should not be the next person. It should be you. How do you one up yourself for saying that how do I make myself more valuable, more effective the next time, and how do I keep myself learning? That's why I said the best is yet to come. So I'm sure there are far better things which I can do from a career or life perspective.
Thank you so much. I think personally I've learned a lot, and the viewers who are going to watch it going to gain a lot of knowledge. And We'll also put your LinkedIn profile here so that if anybody wants to connect and have some doubts, probably they can connect and take a piece of advice from you. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thanks, Pooja. It was a pleasure connecting up with you. Thank you.
Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss a video from us.